everybody, it's Chris Eads, and online is Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast for you. This week, I did go to the movies, but I did not see anything new. There weren't any big new releases out this week that I was like super eager to see. But this is the weekend when they re-released Princess Mononoke in IMAX. It's a special new 4K restoration that they have put out in IMAX theaters, and I said, let me go to that. As soon as I heard about it the other week, I went into my AMC app on my phone to buy tickets, scrolled all through the coming soon, and did not see it. I actually had to I was like, are they not on sale yet? What's going on? I went into the search, typed in Princess, typed in M, it says Princess Mononoke. I tapped it. They were not promoting it. It was not on the coming soon page that I saw. I had to search for it, and still all the really good seats were gone. So Lincoln Square was right out. I'm not sitting way up in the front or way over on the sides, not happening. Even 42nd Street, which is not a great IMAX theater, all the good seats there were gone. So I had to settle for 34th Street, which is, I think, even worse as an IMAX theater. Although, now that I've been back to it, it's on par with 42nd Street. It's fine. Like, it's kind of like the Dolby Theater. It's just not the IMAX. It's just a very big screen. So I managed to get really a good seat for the 34th Street IMAX theater. I didn't care. I would have liked to have seen it in Lincoln Square on proper IMAX, but as long as it's on a really big screen, that's the whole point of it. I had forgotten how good that movie is. It's actually the first Miyazaki / Ghibli movie that I ever saw in a theater. I think it's actually the first one I ever saw at all. But I was working at DC Comics at the time, and we would have like free screenings and stuff. And I don't know if it was one of those free screenings or if I went, because I know I went with one of my coworkers, and I don't know if we went to this screening or if she got tickets to this screening and took me. But we sat in this small screening room, very comfy recliner seats, and watched Princess Mononoke, and I had my mind absolutely blown. So that started me on the path, and now I've seen all those movies. So I was very excited to see it on a big screen again, instead of just on my TV with my Blu-ray. So I can't speak to any restoration or anything. It looked great. I don't know that it looked any better than it did before. It certainly looked great on the big screen. What I really appreciated was the sound. Like, having proper theatrical surround sound was amazing, especially when the score kicked in, because that is an amazing score. But it's just a fantastic movie, and I was so happy to be able to see it on the big screen again. If you can see it, I recommend it. It's great. Although I think it's only in IMAX theaters. I don't think they're putting it out in regular theaters. And I'm also not sure that it's going to last more than the week. But it's definitely something to be experienced on the big screen if you can, because this is an epic. As for games, I've been making progress. I made some good progress in Disney Dreamlight Valley. As I've said before, I'm trying to not spend hours working on the Star Path, because you have time. So I've been working more at a more natural pace, not overdoing it, so I can play other games. And yesterday, actually, I finished a Star Path duty, and when I took my reward, nothing filled its place. Nothing filled that 6th slot. It's blank. It means I'm done. I've only got those 5 left to do. Very excited about that. I've only got a couple of weeks, so I should stay on it. I can't relax too much, but I know I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then I also made some really good progress on Starfield this past week, because the Infinity Nikki servers were down, so you couldn't play it for a day. They always take them down for a big update, so there's one evening after work where I cannot play Infinity Nikki. So I took advantage of that, and I played Starfield for a good chunk of time after work, which I don't normally do. It's normally just a little bit. So this is like a good solid chunk. And I was doing the main quest, But things started getting really heavy, and there were all these big revelations about the Traveler and the Starborn and who they really are and what's really happening. And so there's all these big revelations, and then you have to like go back and talk to everybody about it, and it's all drama. And I was a little nervous about continuing that because, as I've said in previous episodes, I reach certain points in the various quest lines that I'm doing, and I'm like, I'm afraid I might not be leveled up enough for that. Let me swap over and do another one. So I stopped the main quest and I went back to the UC Vanguard quest. I picked up Andrasia and we went to do that. And that took us to Londinium, home of the Terramorphs, which I had been kind of putting off because I'm like, ugh, Terramorphs, they're huge, they're hard to kill, they're really annoying. And I was like, hopefully I'm a high enough level for this. And I totally was. I should not have worried. We get there and they're like, make sure you gear up before you go into the wilds and fight the Terramorphs. And there's all this gear and weapons and ammo, but all the gear and weapons were worse than what I had on me and what I had equipped. So I was like, oh, there's nothing really good here. I should be fine. I'll just take all the ammo that's not nailed down so I don't run out. And I went in there and it was actually perfectly fine. Like a couple of them were a little bit like, ooh, 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 but most of them went down pretty quickly and they weren't too bad. So yay. And then there's like some big revelations there. This is how I know that I'm getting to the end towards the end, I mean the back end of these quest lines, because now the revelations are coming fast and furious and it's like, ooh, ah, ooh. And the story's really kicking in. So I still don't feel like I'm anywhere near finishing Starfield. And as far as finishing Starfield, like all of the Bethesda games, I'm going to have to just say, when I finish the main storyline, that is me finishing Starfield. Maybe there will be credits. I don't know. But before I finish the main storyline, I am going to finish the Vanguard quest and the Freestar Rangers quests. I want to finish those quest lines. Then I will do the main quest line, and then I will call it done. Even though there's still like way more to do in there, I'd like to play something else. I can always go back later if I want. And do another quest line or something. That could be fun. But I had time to do that because Nikki was down for their new update. And the thing with Nikki's update, it's Revelry season. And I have to say, I'm a little disappointed in this one. Like, the last one had like a really nice story with the castle and the queen and what is she evil and what's the mystery of the castle and everything. And so there was like a story, and that was more interesting to me than this, which is just like, oh, the Feywish sprites are having dance parties. Yay. Humans can come to the dance parties. And there's not really like a story. Excuse me. There was a whole thing with a supposedly cursed mask that you had to go chase around and stuff. But that turned out to be kind of a misunderstanding, and that was about all there was for like a storyline for a quest. And now I'm just doing like miscellaneous stuff, and it's just sort of like, eh. And like the outfits, the new outfits, I don't care. I'm not gonna do any gotcha pulls for those because they're not anything I want. And the other thing that's really annoying is that the event is taking place on these like platforms, floating platforms out on the water. So in order to get to the platforms and get around them, you have to jump across lily pads and rocks and platforming things to get there. And it's like just tedious and annoying. You can't just like run around. I did thankfully discover the other day that there's like this big main stage and there's this pillar in the middle, and you can actually teleport to that pillar because there's no save points on any of them that you can teleport between. But then I found out you can teleport to that pillar. So if you're playing Infinity Nikki and you didn't notice that yet, pro tip, you can teleport out to that platform. You still have to jump to all the other ones, but you can at least teleport to that one. And also that pillar is how you get to the I forget what they're called. It's another, the platforming levels where you have to like jump across things while obstacles are falling at you and stuff, and it's really frustrating and annoying. But if you do them all, you can get rewards. So I've been doing them like one a day because they're kind of irritating. But whatever. I was hoping there was going to be some kind of like DDR dancing mini game, which would have been awesome. But I should have, and there is a dancing minigame, but because of the way that they did the controls on the violin playing minigame, I should not have gotten my hopes up for anything close to like DDR. Like, I would have loved to have just been like pressing buttons as they came across this, as they scrolled across the screen and lit up like a DDR kind of thing. But instead, the favor sprite is like, here are 4 moves: left, X, up, right. And then you see Nikki, and then when the thing goes across the screen, you have to remember left, X, down, right, whatever. I don't remember what I just said. And hit those buttons as they get to the center of the line, and then you get your points. And that's your mini game. And it's not really dancing, and it's not much of anything. It's a little memory and slight timing. It's not rhythm, because it's not really, I don't feel like you're in the rhythm of the song. You're just doing it when it hits the center of the line. So it's timing and memory, which isn't as much fun as DDR, which is actually about the rhythm of the game. But clearly these developers aren't good with the rhythm games, so oh well. So yeah, I don't think this is going to take up a whole lot of time, and I'm probably going to find myself either going back to the main quest in Nikki, or maybe spending some more time in Starfield trying to save the universe. We'll see. Come back next time and find out what I chose. Oh my god, no. I'm not saying goodbye yet. I almost completely forgot to mention the Nintendo Direct. Sorry. I'll make it quick. Nintendo announced, oh, we're doing a Nintendo Direct. Oh, but it's not the Switch 2 Direct that we have been planned for April 2nd for like ever. This is just a Switch Nintendo Direct. And we will not talk about the Switch 2 at all during this Nintendo Direct. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, what are they going to talk about? And honestly, all I wanted out of it was a release date for the new Professor Layton game. That's all I want. I want that new Professor Layton game, and it just says 2025. And I'm like, give me at least a month so I can look forward to something. But that was not included. Basically, the only thing that it did was remind me that they're doing this Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake, which I'm kind of into. And then they made a big deal about this new app that you can get for your phone that's like a calendar app, but it like also gives you like, it just promotes Nintendo products every day, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if I want that. So all the other games were just like, whatever, I don't care about Metroid, I don't care about this, I don't care about that. Tomodachi Life, I don't know. Like, nothing in there. I was like, where's Professor Layton? That's all I care about. But if you have downloaded that app and you find it amusing or fun or whatever, let me know if I should download it. I don't know. It just seems silly, and I'm not gonna like be checking it every day. I don't know. Like, it just seems weird. But let me know. All right? So that's it. Now I can go. I'll let you go. Bye!